and we'll try to introduce the next story. But I guess, let's dive into the news of the week.
Definitely, Stephen. I find this first story pretty interesting, and I definitely see how it could ruffle some feathers. So, IBM Red Hat has placed the source code for Red Hat Enterprise Linux behind a paywall, limiting access to subscribers and leaving CentOS Stream as the only public repository for the source code. While IBM Red Hat justifies the move as a means to protect their developers' work, it has generated controversy and concerns among those outside the company. This certainly has to be community up in arms, has to have them up in arms.
Absolutely. And that's what we're seeing. My friend Jeff Geerling has been particularly outspoken about this. Essentially, Red Hat Linux, even though our HEL RHEL is available for open source or open use, not open source use, the source code for RHEL is now part of the commercial, on the commercial side. Whereas CentOS Stream, which used to be, remember, the open source version of RHEL, is now the, I guess, tip of the spear development release. And that is still open. But once it becomes, I guess, long-term stable and graduates to RHEL, it's no longer open for all to see. This is a big problem for the projects that use RHEL, especially projects that are derivatives. For example, Alma Linux and Rocky Linux, which was embraced as a replacement for CentOS when all this came down previously. This understandable that a company would want to do this, but at the same time, it's really, really against the tenets of open source, the beliefs of the open source community, and frankly, the needs of many people and many users. There are a lot of outspoken critics of this decision. There are a lot of people quickly jumping ship. You can believe that the folks over at Ubuntu are absolutely crowing to anyone who will hear that they are still open and still supporting different, open source use and derivatives and so on. And frankly, this kind of, in my mind, spells the end of the honeymoon when it comes to Red Hat.